Hello, solar people, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Trey, and today we're going to get started on 2025 scheduling. We're going to try to be more organized, more forward-thinking, and usually I don't do this, or I try to, but it usually fails. So here I have an old schedule year 2022, and in it I put in stuff that I want to get accomplished. And I usually just look at it once or twice a year and then I don't. But this year, I'm going to try to be much more organized because things are starting to move and I'm starting to feel some forward progress. And so let's get to it. So first off, I'd like to say that progress is a process, right? If we want to make progress, we're gonna have to figure out a process or a system to get us to make progress. Yeah, it's corny, but hey, it's one of the best things I think I've thought of. So let us chart our progress and process. That's right, and that's why we're gonna make a schedule. And with this schedule, we'll check it every December. So this December, we'll check next December and see how far we got. Did we get any progress made by doing this thing? And that is, I'll probably do this for maybe 3 years. And that brings us to the 3-year timeline. Let's do that. So 3 years. All right, 3 years plan. What they say that you can underestimate, you can get done in a short amount of time, but you don't think about what you can get done over a longer span of time. And I believe that is true. So we have a year 1, a year 2, and a year 3 that leads to a goal, but you also assess this goal. So goal and assessment. I am a terrible speller. So in a 3-year plan, you're trying to get somewhere. So say for YouTube, if you want to be monetized and all of that, you'll need, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. And that is usually a goal for most YouTubers to get to that point. So if that was a 3-year plan, my first year, this year, I would do just testing and data collection, right? Year 1 is usually just testing and data collection because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you don't know. And usually this is the time you're going to make all the mistakes in that first year. And then with testing and data collection, then you can improve your processes to make better progress on a goal. So this year, I'll look at everything that I've done, all the videos I've made, isolate the best ones, the ones that did the best, and things I want to talk about more, and then make a second year will be testing and refinement. Testing and refine. And that is the goal of year 2. Year 2, year 1, year 3. So yes, year 1, testing and data collection, because you don't know what you're doing. You try to figure out things. Year 2 is you take that data, you remix it, you make it better, you think about things, and then you refine all that testing, but you also continue to testing and refinement. And then year 3, you try to get to a specific goal. And then if you do, you get that goal. And then you assess that goal. How hard was it to get to the goal? Was it fast? Was it slow? What were all the little pitfalls and traps that you fell into that could have made this process faster if you were doing it all over again? Because if we're doing drawing, this is all for art, right? If we're doing drawing, we're trying to figure out all these mini goals to solve to get better and then better and then better, faster. And On and on, because it never, ever ends. So that is, say, YouTube. Look at my data. Year 2 will be testing and refinement. Year 3, let's say monetized, or monetize YouTube. Year 3. And so far, more or less, I'm on track. The hardest part is the start, and then it just becomes easier and easier as you do testing and data collection. But let's say an art goal. Let's say Willis Henry. Right, I have a comic, Willis Henry. Willis Henry comic. And so it's totally five chapters, 420 some pages. And I've gotten about 100 pages done. And that was 1 and 2. So chapter 3, let's say we'll do the testing and data collection. And then chapter for Willis Henry, chapter 4 is a build up on chapter 3. And then chapter 5, Willis Henry, chapter 5 is total book. And this is how I like to plan out things. All right, so we're taking small ideas and building upon them, chopping things up essentially. So Willis Henry comic 3, comic 4, and each one is about 100 pages. Chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, you put it all together, you have a book, and that is the goal. And then I will assess that goal for the book to make it better for the next book and the next book. And I usually try to think of in rules of 3. So whatever you're going to do, try to get 3 of them so that you can get an idea of what you're doing. If you want to make illustrations, make 3 illustrations. Figure out what the first one is, then make the second one with, learning what you learned from the first one. And then, so you can do this for a lot of things. So now that we have this, a 3-year plan, this is year 1 or year 2, like YouTube, this is year 2. But let's think about our idea dump, let's say. So let's say you have categories. You have art, you have studying, study/learn, you have life, you have YouTube, because this is going on YouTube. UBE, okay. Finance, if I can, NCE. And so this is going to be your idea dump. Anything you can think of in each of these categories. You can have more categories, you can have less categories, but whatever you want to accomplish, remember, progress is a process. So first, let's get out all the ideas out. So say for art, I want Willis Henry. I want that as a comic. I also want Beautiful Beast Kiss. Beautiful Beast Kiss. What else? I want to do watercolor more. Watercolor. Anything else? This will be a watercolor/Moon King. King. That's going to be a project together. So what do I want to study? Study-wise, I've been trying to get back into Japanese, so that's language. Anything to expand the mind, to grow from. I also want to learn digital coloring for my art. Digital colors. I'd like to learn Illustrator because I have a coloring book that I want to think about doing. Well, I want to get that done. I'd like to learn backgrounds. So backgrounds for Willis Henry and Beautiful Beast Kiss and Moon King. So other things in art would benefit from me studying backgrounds. For YouTube, video making. And I'd also like to write for 30 minutes. Write for 30 minutes. Right, and so these are things I want to study / learn. So let's say for life, what do I want to accomplish out of life? I like to keep up my exercise, basics, push-ups, sit-ups, about a half an hour a day. I'd like to see more friends, or see my friends more often. See friends. I'd like to travel within the United States because my passport needs to be renewed. So, travel. I'd like to read more. That's a big one. Read more. I used to read a lot, but now it's been like replaced with YouTube and other video stuff, and I'm like, maybe this isn't the best for me. Right? Deprogram that. I gotta. I'm getting twitchy, so read more would be good. What else? Eat better. I love donuts, so eat better. So whatever you're in life you want to accomplish, write it down. We're just dumping out everything we can think of. For YouTube, I would like to make 40 videos, say in a year. This is my baseline. I would like to have 40 videos. I would like high quality. But what is even quality? So that's all subjective and all that. But I like to, learn more about video making so that I can make better videos. So that's something. I'd like to do more demos, like how to watercolor, stuff like that. How to make illustrations and stuff. More demos and special presentations. And now let's go to finance. Finance is always very important. Without money, it's not a fun time. So currently, I would like to build more assets. So I consider like Willis Henry as an asset, Beautiful Beast Kiss as an asset. The Moon King I would eventually like to get to an asset. And an asset is just something that you can make money off of in the future. So say Willis Henry, I can turn the drawings for the comic into coloring books that can be colored by kids and then sell that. And so building assets. And the difference is assets and liabilities. Liabilities you pay for but lose or depreciate in value. Assets gain in value over time, hopefully. I would like to build my email list. Build email list. Because I have the website, TreyHodges.com. I like to build an email list off of that for better communications, but I am a horrible communicator right here. This is I need to work on that. So that's one thing. And also 1 to 3 income streams. So at the baseline, I have the website, but I'd like to sell products from my website. So make a store, either a Shopify, but I think the one I'm using is GoDaddy, and I think thinking of they have tools within it so I can sell stuff. So I like to think about, learning that, and getting on that. So now that you have some things sketched out, right? I have an idea of different categories of my life that I want to improve on. And progress is a process. So now I think about my top 3 actions. What are the top 3 things to do? Top 3 actions. And these top 3 actions become a routine. Whoops. And a routine is something that you do like throughout the week, every day, every working day, or say if you only have enough, you have a day job and you come home and, at night you're going to do such and such. And you try to build a routine. So the top 3 things become a routine, and you want to do these often enough. So my days are usually broken down into mornings, afternoons, early evenings, and then evening. So this block is my 3, right? My top 3 actions go into these places. The most important goes here, right? So I cannot spell. Most important, and that would be Willis Henry. If we're going to do the chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 3, 4, 5 of the Willis Henry comic, Willis Henry will be my most important. So Willis Henry, and he takes up my mornings, right? So say from 9 to 12, or 9 to 11:30. Let's say 9 to 11:30. 9 to 11:30. Most important, because you're the freshest in the morning. In the afternoon, let's say it would be Beautiful Beast Kiss, but let's BBK in the afternoon, Beautiful Beast Kiss, and let's say that would be from 2 to 4, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And let's say early evening is 4 to 6, and that would be watercolor / Moon King, and that is from 4 p.m. to 6. And then the evening is usually I put study time in here. So the study learning areas mostly go in the evening part. So if I want to learn anatomy, so evenings will be learning. Evenings and Fridays. Fridays I usually do a freestyle day, because that's also where I put upkeep. So say if you're going to dental appointments, doctor's appointments, car checkups, everything to maintain your life, usually I put those on a Friday, because that's usually lighter. And so I also put in learning there. And that can be, so after dinner, so say from 9 o'clock p.m. to 11 or 10:30. Let's say 10:30. So in this space, I usually do, say, digital coloring, where you can learn backgrounds, or video making. And then writing for half an hour, I'd like to put that, so say you wake up at 7, by 7:30 to 8:30 would be writing for 30 minutes, and that would be, so say 7:30 to, I'm a slow starter in the morning, I need extra time, to 8:30 a.m. Right, a.m. And this is the basics of a routine. If you do this 4 days, try to do these 4 days every week, you have the basis of, these are your top 3 actions that become a routine, and the routine gets you to a place, gets you somewhere. If you do this over a long enough span of time, like even if you did 1 page a day of Willis Henry, that's 1 page, stacking. We don't want to go backwards, we want to go forwards. So we must make a note. I must make some notes, some caveats, some things to think about. Note number 1, and this is very important. Focus on outcomes you can control, right? Focus on outcomes you can control. Now, if outcome is out of your control. Focus on data. Right? Again, it goes here. Testing and data collection. If you focus on outcomes, if you can control the outcome. If outcome is out of your control, focus on data. So what I mean is, I can control certain things like YouTube. I can make a video, right? You put a little bit of effort into making a video, you put that video on YouTube, but you cannot control the outcomes of, say, likes, subscribers. You can't control any of that. So you just focus on your part. Focus on what you can do, and that is making the video, making the book, and the readership, the people that watch or, might give you a like or something on social media or whatever, that's out of your control. So just then focus on data and trying to get better. That is the plan. Now, note number two, and that is my release process. And since I'm making things, you're going to have to release things. So say you make a YouTube video, you release your YouTube video. You make a comic, you release that comic. So now I have to think about number one is in the release process, make the thing. Number two, once thing is made, then this is the part I'm horrible at. Promote thing for, I'd say 1 month. Right? Promote thing for 1 month. This is all tentative. I don't know what I'm doing because I've released things, but I'm starting to have things to be released. So now I'm trying to think about my release process. And number three, of course, release thing for money. Very important. So yes, release process. 1, make thing. Make video, make comic, make art. Number 2, promote thing for 1 month. That's going to be about this specific time. And then 3, release thing for money. All right, make thing, tell people about thing, then release thing to the public. So that's note number 2. Now let's think about the calendar. So now that we have our mind dump of things that we want to get accomplished, we have our top 3 actions broken down into a day's worth of time, morning, afternoons, and evenings, or early evenings and then evenings with learning and study. We have an idea that focus on the outcome of what you can personally control, and that is your output. And we have a release idea. So let's break this down in a year amount of time. So calendar. So we got the Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, Sept, October, and December. This is your year. If you plug these, your top 3, every day for each of these months, you'll get somewhere. Whether fast or slow, you'll get somewhere. Now, for myself, I can only talk about myself. January to about June to maybe mid-July is my heavy work. It's the winter time to early summer. That is when I can usually get the most done. Right? I have this whole block with continual progress to get stuff done. Now, July is usually those summer months where travel can interrupt things. Right? I have nieces and nephews that, they're off for the summer, and people want to get together. There's barbecues and all of that can happen in the summer. So I try to give myself some grace in this area. right? Don't beat yourself up. Try to stay consistent, but things will come into your life. So you just want to be consistent. Now, September and October is after the summer, and this is release season and sales season, right? So, release and sales. And why do I say that? Because December is coming, right? This is the holidays, and the holidays is where the most things will be sold in December. So a lot of stores get into, is it the black or is it the red? I think it's getting into the red during the holidays. So they make up their sales in December. And so now that we're going to be releasing things, we have to think about these things. So if my release season is going to be here, leading up to December. Now, when I used to do conventions like San Diego Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con was here, the late July. I did July Funky. And so that means I had to get my books or whatever materials that I wanted to sell for the Comic-Con or comic conventions. I had to get that done mid-June. And that's why this block was really strong for me. I usually get most stuff done, get it to the printer. They'd get it to me early July. I'd then go to conventions, sell prints and books and all of that. But now that I don't do conventions anymore because nieces and nephews and travel and all of that, and plus I'm just getting older, and that's a convention circuit is like a young man's game. So now I'm switching more towards digital and website and all that. But still, there's the idea that you have to build up to the release or launches. And if I'm going to shift it from here to here, then that's something to think about. But it can happen throughout the year, right? If you're ahead of schedule, you might be earlier, but promote it for a month and then release it and then see how it goes. But it's good to have a plan. And this is all about making a plan. Now, November is the winding down. Because Thanksgiving's at the end, and that end means usually it's the beginning of the end of the year. And December is the holidays. Not much will get done, but we will look over our progress. So it'll be next year prep and year in review. And that means you look over all of this, see all the progress you've made, and amend everything. Think about your 3-year plan. You doing your data and testing and data collection, your testing and refinement, your goal and assessment, right? And you can do that each year in the year in review. But this right here, January to June, is the heavy work. And so January is usually about getting groove back, right? January is, if you're going to get back into exercise after the holidays, it's kind of rough. So you got to get your groove back. Also with drawing, you got to get your groove back. So I call this the art boot camp. And I'll probably be doing one of these for maybe 2 weeks in January. Now, February is the shortest month. And so I do challenges and forming habits, right? February, that 28 days, I do a challenge. This year, I did the artist boot camp for 28 days. Every day, I made a video. You can check that out on YouTube. But that's what I did is as a challenge and to form a habit of trying to get better with anatomy. That's what I tried to do. This year, I think it's going to be Illustrator. I want to make an Illustrator project to get better at that for the coloring book specifically. So I have a plan in place to go forward. Now, March is after these two, right? We've gotten our reps. We're getting stronger and more focused. And now is the 100-day march. And this is what I thought about when I was doing conventions in July. Well, Comic-Con. Was for the 100 days, it's about 100 days, right? From March to June. It's more than that, but I call it the 100-day march. And we're going towards a goal to we have to get the stuff to the printer. And once it's at the printer, they do their thing. And then you get ready for prep work for the convention and whatnot. So I like this. I like this routine of a 100-day march. Right? It's making continual progress over the months. Just doing your top actions every day. Well, as many days, try to string them together. Try not to break the chain. Things come up, of course, and give yourself some grace. But you have a routine that you go by. Okay, every morning I do Willis Henry. Every afternoon I do Beautiful Beast Kiss. Every early evening I do Watercolor Moon King, and also make videos for YouTube. And in the evenings I try to learn digital or video making or whatever I want to learn. And you just try to keep that rhythm 4 days a week. Just keep it moving every week for months on end, and you'll make progress. Now, this is a summer month, so summer madness, you never know what could happen. Madness. I don't think that's how you spell madness, but anyway. He's lost it. And you never know what could happen. Holiday trips, families, barbecues, all of that. And you get work done as you can, right? Try to stay consistent, but you know there will be interruptions. We get back to it, right? Late August, September. My brother's birthday is in late August, so usually I have my last trip. And then after that, it's back on for these 4 months. And this is where I usually start inking, and I want to start releasing, right? Because if I do all this, I should have books starting to take form, and I'll know where I am at this point. So I'm thinking about this, but inking like I did this year to try to get better with that. And I like that pattern. So I'm going to continue to do that. And then, of course, November, the wind down, December, next year prep, and year review. And that is your calendar. And that is the part 1 of this, of planning, scheduling, trying to be more efficient. And I encourage you to make your own so that you can make a process to make progress. And that's what we're here to do. So now we have the bare bones. So let's go. So thank you for joining me. There will be part 2 next week. Take care, keep shining, and I will see you on the next video. I have been Trey. You can find my work at treyhodges.com. See you later. Good night. Bye-bye. See you next week.